all-star. He's the one and only Matt Joyce joining us on the program. What's going on, brother? How are you?
Just enjoying the beautiful day here in Tampa, Florida, before it gets too hot.
I just had our buddy Ian Beckles on. He said, thanks for doing that photo shoot back in the day. Do you remember that?
What photo shoot?
Like, that's such a long time ago. Like, I'm sure way back in the day. Matt, appreciate you, man. I hope you're doing well, you and yours. What was it like, man? Opening day, there's really nothing like it, man. Opening day. What was it like to be able to see that here in the Tampa area with the Rays playing outside?
Different. Yeah, it was definitely different. Opening day is special for me, man. Honestly, it's like a holiday. Tell everybody it's like Christmas for baseball fans and baseball players. Like, you just get so excited that obviously you work so hard in the off season, spring training, excited, but like there's a different feeling about opening day. My favorite ones are probably early on in my career when I got one of my first opening days at Boston when I played for the Rays. I got to do opening day at Fenway. That was cool. It was really, really cool, special, different kind of energy up there. This weekend was cool. I mean, it was different for the Rays, right? Obviously, they're used to being inside. Got to check out the clubhouse. The Yankees spent like $40 million to renovate the clubhouse in that stadium, so the Rays get to benefit from that. I was checking out the facilities. They're incredible. So that worked out really well for them. And then speaking to the guys, like, they're excited to play outside. They're excited to have nice weather right now. Obviously, we'll see how June, July goes. They play on real grass. There's a big difference for the outfielders playing on real grass and just the wear and tear on their bodies.
Yeah, tell me about that, because I know that's something over the years. I talked to Kevin Kiermaier about it and Carl Crawford. Like, when do you feel that difference? Is that a point in your career you feel the difference, a point throughout that 1 year for a guy that played outfield? I mean, what is that big difference to somebody that doesn't really know the difference between playing on turf and playing on grass?
I remember specifically when I was 30 years old, telling our bench coach, I was like, oof, buddy, 30 feels different, especially playing on turf. But yeah, no, typically, like, especially as you get a little bit older, you definitely feel it a little bit more. But if you play, 4 games in a row on that turf, like, you feel it, like your lower back, your knees. You got to think about it. It's basically carpet on top of concrete. And then they have like the rubber pellets, and I think they redid it fairly recently, within the last few years, of just like sand and just kind of a combination of stuff. But still, it's not the same.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty wild to be able to see them and be able to do that. What about hitting wise? Like, there's certain balls stay in the infield, because I know that you're not playing in these with the grass super high, but do you notice the difference when you're hitting hard ground balls, that balls get through the infield quicker on turf?
Yeah, I mean, typically my head is down, trying to dig it out. Please God, make it safe. But yeah, there's definitely a difference. Like, if you ask the infielders that play the infield, there's definitely a difference of playing at the trop. The ground is a little bit faster. And yeah, I mean, obviously, depending on how hot it is, how much rain there's been, how wet the field is, right? Like, if it's, a really dry field and hot, like, it's going to be a little bit harder and it's going to play a little bit faster. And so, it just depends.
What do you make of Junior Caminero? I mean, what this guy's been able to do, obviously in winter ball, because the stories in winter ball are just amazing. But to be able to see the success there, to be able to just hear the sound off of the bat in batting practice, like, what do you think as far as his potential, not just for this year, but beyond? Because just watch that guy. Like, they don't make too many like that.
No. This guy is a budding superstar. He's going to be a superstar. As long as he stays healthy, he's 21 years old. His bat speed is off the charts. Right, like, he hits the ball and it is as loud as almost anybody I've seen and played with. Bryce Harper comes to mind, of just like the ability to impact a baseball like that is crazy. Still a young kid. He's still learning. He's going to make a ton of adjustments. He's going to learn a lot over the next few years. But, like, think about it, like, 21 years old, hitting in the middle of a big league order. But has all the potential in the world to hit 30 home runs this year, right? Like, I mean, he has that capability to hit 30 home runs this year. And if he stays healthy, realistically, I mean, he's got a good shot at it. And then he'll only get better. 25 to 30, I mean, it's going to be scary what this kid's capable of.
Yeah, no doubt. And people are like, oh, I don't want to, I don't think we should put too much pressure on him. I'm like, dude, he's going to start every day at third base and bat in the middle of the lineup. I don't know if there's pressure, like, right? Like, I think that's so overblown. Like, dude, if you're 21 and you're going to bat third or fourth in a big league lineup in the AL East and knowing who you're going against, like, I don't know if the Rays are necessarily worried about pressure. What do you think?
No, I mean, I think once you get past the first, couple games, right, you start to settle in. You're going to be nervous. You're going to be excited, especially bigger games, bigger situations. Your heart rate's going to get elevated. But again, dude, I was 23 and I got caught up with the Tigers, and we had superstars. It was crazy the talent that we had on that team. Pudge was behind the plate. Gary Sheffield, Magli Ordonez. Like, it was crazy who we had on that team. Just a handful of superstars. Verlander was there. Kenny Rogers. Just all kinds of stuff. And so, for me, at the end of the day, I still had to go play, right? I had to block all that out. It doesn't matter who's watching. It doesn't matter who I'm playing with, who's next to me. Granderson was in center field. I'm like, I still got a job to do, and I got to go figure out how to execute and perform and help this team win. And ultimately, that's the mentality. And I think, again, as a young kid, he's got all the talent in the world. Once he kind of settles in and relaxes and gets a little comfortable, he's going to take off.
Matt, a lot of people ask about the job of a hitting coach, especially with the Rays and the fact that they were the worst offense last year in Rays history, which was kind of weird to me, knowing how some of the teams early on in the franchise's history didn't really smack the ball around too well. But as a guy that played in the big leagues, what's the job of the hitting coach for a guy like you, let's say young Matt Joyce and maybe 30-year-old Matt Joyce? Because I feel like sometimes there's too much of an onus maybe from the outside, from the fan base, from the media of it's the hitting coach's problem. I mean, sometimes guys just not as talented as maybe some of the opponents that they're going against. What is the hitting coach's job for young hitters and also for the veteran guys?
Man, it's all over the place, right?
Yeah.
You really think about it as the hitting coach, they have to help the guys prepare, right? You have to give them the information that they need, help them to build out an approach. Obviously, you're a swing coach. Sometimes you're a therapist, right? You're trying to, really make sure that these guys understand that they belong there. So you're building up their confidence. So it's all over the place, right? And so, and to your point, I always felt there was just freaks of nature in the big leagues. And when you look at guys like Judge and Ohtani, and no matter how hard I worked, my ceiling was only this high. Their ceiling was so much higher because they could hit the ball harder. They were bigger, faster, stronger, right? And so you kind of have to take that into consideration, and for each individual player to understand, all right, what is this player's strengths and weaknesses, and what works for them, because I can't sit here and as soon as they come into the team say, no, you need to swing this way. Hey, something got you here that made you successful. What was it? What works for you? And then from there, once you learn the player and you can kind of see, all right, how do they go about their bats? Are they chasing? Are they controlling the strike zone? How's their effort level? Did they have a good approach? And then from there, it's all right, let's look at their mechanics. If they're struggling, what is their mechanics? Are they flying open with their front side? All right, let's do some drills and then do that consistently to make sure that they're, beating in the right muscle memory. Is there any mechanical adjustments that we do need to make? Are they coming out of their legs? Little stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then again, the game's built around failure, right? You're going to fail all the time. And so it's making sure that they have the right mindset of how to deal with that failure. And they're talking to themselves and having that good positive self-talk. And then obviously you're there to pump them up and to make sure that they're still staying confident.
And what about now? We're seeing these torpedo bats. That's all the rage. The first, it's funny. Aaron Judge is the one guy not using the freaking torpedo bat, but it is kind of wonky because I've worked for a bat company before, and you're just used to the same looking thing. What the C241 or whatever it was, used to the same bat all the time. And now it looks different, and people are losing their mind about it, even though everybody can do it. What's your take on the torpedo bat? And would that be something that if you were still playing that you'd be, giving a look to?
Oh man, I'd be trying anything and everything I could. I needed all the help I could get. Yeah, for me, I always felt exit velocity, the ability to impact the baseball, was the golden nugget. It was you know what I mean? And I was under control. I had the paint discipline, and I could square up a baseball. But the ability to hit the ball hard is you look at the best players. The best players hit the ball the hardest. And the torpedo bat is an interesting case. It reminds me of Albert Pujols. Albert had a bat that the barrel started closer to the hands and then went all the way through the end of the bat. And so like he felt like it was a bigger sweet spot. I ended up trying, to swing that bat, and I didn't like it at all because it moved the center point of the bat towards my hands. And then I just felt like I didn't like it. I didn't feel like I got that same whip for me. And so every hitter's a little bit different. I would be interested to see like the data and have some conversations around the bat itself, because obviously I think the consensus there is that the sweet spot, or the ball where you're gonna hit the ball consistently, the sweet spot of the bat is a little bit thicker than the rest of the bat, right? And so if you think about it logically, then it's saying, all right, like the sweet spot's a little bit bigger, and like that's ultimately where you want the most room for error, right? I want to be able to hit. I want to have as big a sweet spot as possible, and obviously have as much bat speed as possible. So I think that's the overall idea. Again, like it still qualifies and it's under regulation, right? Like the barrel has to be a certain size. And so like there's really nothing wrong with it. It's just the Yankees have hit a lot of home runs, and obviously they're getting a lot of attention for the bat.
That's right. And yeah, I mean, you think about all the advances that we've made with pitches and different, remember the gyro ball, and now that everybody's throwing a sweeper and a slurve and all these things. And listen, the only changes in bats have been, you went from ash, everybody used ash. And then, all right, now maple. Birch, you could use birch. It's really heavy. And now here's maple. That's kind of in between the best of both worlds. So it's like, yeah, I think it's a good thing if the hitters have more in their repertoire. Matt, what do you make of this whole thing with the stadium, man? Because I know you're a guy that you've been here. You've seen it all. Used to go to games, watch them. You played for the Rays. And, it feels like this saga never ends, man, right? This whole Rays stadium thing. But we got to keep – I say this all the time, and you're a great example. This baseball is in the DNA of the Tampa Bay area. There's so many current, former, prospective big leaguers. I mean, you've been out there, man. You've seen on baseball fields all around the state, youth baseball. There's tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of kids playing everywhere here in the Sunshine State. What do you make of this whole Rays Stadium saga? Do you think we'll ever really get a conclusion where we'll have a stadium, whether it's in Tampa or St. Pete?
I mean, it is that. It is a saga. It's like you said, it's an ongoing saga, dude. Like I hear something almost every day. So the most recent thing I've heard is that St. Pete is going to fix the stadium. They're going to fix the roof, and obviously, it's kind of their obligation to provide a stadium, a workable, nice stadium for the team, and that was the agreement. And obviously, the Rays didn't agree to move forward with the development plans, and so now what we're seeing is MLB is kind of, nudging Sternberg and the Rays to kind of push for a sale, because obviously, ultimately, they want the development. They want to increase the value of the franchise, and then they want to expand. They want to expand in probably most likely Portland, and then somewhere on the East Coast, maybe Nashville, maybe Montreal. Who knows? We'll see. But they want to expand two teams, one on the East Coast, one on the West Coast. And if the value of the franchise is higher, then they can obviously ask for a higher buy-in price for the new franchise expansion teams. For me personally, I love outdoor baseball. Obviously, when the weather's nice, I just don't think you can beat it. I think Tampa is a very challenging market. Florida as well. If you look at the Miami Marlins, I think you do have to have some kind of roof. Preferably, it would be something that is retractable, but I think everything comes down to the experience, right? So if I was to do it in a way in which I was going to try to drive and attract as many people as possible, I would say, hey, I'm going to build a 2-level, so Steinbrenner's one level. I'm going to build a 2-level stadium. I'm going to have 30,000 fans, and I'm going to replicate a lot of what the Lightning did, right? Very interactive, a lot of energy, music outside, just like it has to be engaging. I have to have a section for the kids to go play, for families. Like there has to be a family environment, and you have to build it around that, right? And I think if you do that, preferably, I know this is a little selfish, but I think it would draw better in Tampa, whether it's in Ybor or in the Florida State Fairgrounds, and then you develop the area around it. I think that's probably going to draw the best when you think about from a fans and coming to the game atmosphere and perspective.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You and I have been to Emily many times, and to be able to see what's going on there, you walk out of that place going, "That wasn't just a hockey game; it was an event."
It's
Right?
an
It's an
experience. It's an
experience.
experience. Yeah,
Exactly, man. I know
exactly.
people
Yep.
that aren't even sports fans. Forget hockey fans. They're not even
Yep.
sports fans. They walk out of there, they go, "When's the next game? Get me there again."
Right.
Matt, before I let you go, man, let everybody know what you got going on, man, and how they can follow you and all that jazz.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm on Instagram, I post here and there. Social media's got pros and cons. At
Yeah.
Joyce are 24/7. But yeah, I have my hand in a couple things. I do a little bit of broadcast pre and post, so keep an eye out for me there. I do about 30 something games, just stay around the game, talk some shop. We have 5 F45 studios around the Tampa Bay area, all within 30 minutes of downtown. St. Pete over on 4th Street is awesome studio. Check out if you're over on that side of the bridge. And then I actually ended up joining this group, Full-Time Pack, Pro Athlete Community.
Nice.
We help pro athletes transition out of the game into different areas like business, real estate, entrepreneurship, finance. I've always loved those conversations. So it's been a good fit, incredible group. We're about to have our first ever MLB event in December. So I just got the green light for that. So I'm excited. I'm going to have it here in Tampa and pull in a lot of the resources that I have, CEOs, founders, developers, everybody that I can to come and help add value to each other, really.
What's the biggest challenge from these ex big leaguers, ex pro athletes as they transition into, something that they've done their entire life, right? It's people forget about that. It's like you're not just, all right, I was a baseball player from 18 to 30. Like you were playing little league, you were playing travel ball, you're playing high school ball. All of a sudden, like it's like everything changes. What is that conversation? What is that transition like for the guys? And is it harder for certain people than others?
I mean, I tell everybody, my first memories are me playing baseball in the front yard in diapers with my dad pitching to me, right? Like I was a baseball player since I had diapers on, right? Like that was it. That was my entire life up until 37, right? And so, 34, 35 years of hey, you're playing this one sport. This is what you do. This is something that you've worked your whole entire life off to become exceptional and one of the best in the world at. And you're told you're special and unique and you're so valuable in the world, kind of caters, I wouldn't say caters to you, but cheers and idolizes you. And then you get rewarded for it. And you get paid well for it. And then at a certain point, like it gets cut off and like you lose your sense of identity, who you are, what do you do? Your income goes to zero. And so like, hey, how do I manage my finances? What do I do to make a living? What do I want to do? What am I interested in? Obviously you have to be set up financially in order to like go through that transition and make sure like you're not burning too much cash. Nobody's really going to give you a really high paying job because you have one expert skill. And so like I tell everybody, I went from playing in front of 40,000 people, making really good money, people cheering and idolizing me, to fixing a toilet in a St. Pete gym and really questioning, what am I doing with my life? Right. And so I think I did a good job of the transition. I think it was incredibly challenging. I think you have to like really work and like go knock on doors and talk to a lot of people and just like explore different opportunities and options. And I think this group is really what that's about. Heavy education, heavy networking. And then from there, you figure it out as you go, just like life, right? Like one step at a time, one day at a time, one conversation at a time. And you kind of start to weigh your options against each other. And then you try to make your best decisions possible, looking forward.
Well, Matt, I know that's going to be a big time success. You're a fantastic player, an even better human being, and you made everybody in the Tampa Bay area proud for your playing days and especially what you're doing right now, man. Tell Eddie and Jerry when you see him that I said hello, my friend, and best of luck. And if you need help promoting that event in December, I'm sure we'll talk before then. But anything that I can do to help, use this platform to be able to project that to the high heavens, I'll be here for you, brother. I appreciate your time.
Ditto. Appreciate you. Thanks a lot.
All right.
Have a good one.
I'll talk to you soon, buddy.